At just 23, Phil Foden has won every major trophy in club football, completing the collection faster than legends like Messi and Ronaldo, who needed over a decade. The Man City Academy graduate from Stockport has shattered historical timelines with his meteoric rise. From signing his first professional contract to lifting the Champions League trophy, Foden's career already reads like a football fairy tale. His unprecedented success raises intriguing questions about both his journey and what comes next. How did a kid from Stockport become one of the most decorated young players ever? And what unexpected realities come with conquering football's highest peaks before your 24th birthday, when the spotlight never dims? How does a skinny lad from an unassuming town in Greater Manchester become Manchester City's crown jewel? It's a journey that began with a simple kickabout at the tender age of 4. Born and raised in Stockport, just miles from City's home ground, Phil Foden's connection to the club was visceral. By age 6, he had joined City's development program, already displaying touch and awareness that caught scouts' eyes, a rare talent blooming in Manchester's concrete football landscape. His talent was unmistakable, but Manchester City wasn't the same club we know today. As the Abu Dhabi takeover transformed City into a financial powerhouse in 2008, Foden's path to the first team suddenly looked like threading a needle. While the club could now attract established stars with 8-figure price tags, young Phil continued perfecting his craft in the shadows. The challenge facing academy players at elite clubs can be overwhelming. Statistics show that less than 1% of academy footballers make it to their club's first team, with the odds even worse at clubs that can afford to buy ready-made talent. Yet Foden's development trajectory defied these odds. Through his teenage years, coaches highlighted his technical abilities alongside his remarkable football intelligence. His capacity to see spaces before they appeared and understand game patterns beyond his years. City's youth coaches placed him in various positions across the midfield and attack, developing his versatility while carefully monitoring his physical development. Though smaller than most peers, Foden transformed this potential limitation into his strength, developing exceptional close control and a low center of gravity that made him elusive in tight spaces. Years of meticulous development culminated at the 2017 FIFA U17 World Cup in India. England lifted the trophy after beating Spain 5-2 in the final, with Foden emerging as the tournament's standout performer. He claimed the Golden Ball award as the tournament's best player, announcing himself on the global football map as something truly special. Back in Manchester, Pep Guardiola had been watching closely. In a revolutionary decision, Guardiola refused all loan offers for Foden, insisting that training with City's world-class first team would benefit him more than playing regularly elsewhere. "We didn't have any doubts about his quality," Guardiola later revealed. "We knew it from the beginning. He was training with us, playing with us, and we knew he was special." This approach directly contradicted conventional wisdom about developing young talent. The breakthrough came on November 21st, 2017, when Foden made his professional debut as a substitute against Feyenoord. Weeks later, he became the youngest English player to start a Champions League match, at 17 years and 192 days. What makes Foden's rise particularly significant is how it contradicted Manchester City's established recruitment strategy. Between 2008 and 2017, City spent over 1.4 billion on players, yet here was a local boy earning his place among international superstars through sheer talent and determination. While his teammates popped champagne bottles to celebrate Manchester City's Premier League triumph, 17-year-old Phil Foden wasn't even old enough to legally take a sip. Yet he had already made history as the youngest player ever to receive a winner's medal. On May 13th, 2018, at precisely 17 years and 192 days old, Foden etched his name into the Premier League record books, despite contributing just 5 appearances to City's dominant campaign. The 2017-18 season represented Foden's first taste of senior football glory, but the circumstances performances were bittersweet. Standing on the periphery of the celebration, medal in hand, he embodied the contradiction of his situation. Accomplished enough to be part of an elite championship squad, yet still fighting for meaningful minutes on the pitch. During those initial trophy celebrations, Foden was determined to become essential to the next championship run. His patience began to pay dividends in the 2018-19 season as his role expanded significantly, with appearances jumping to 26 across all competitions. More importantly, the young midfielder started finding the back of the net, scoring 7 goals that season. On September 25th, 2018, amid the echoing cheers at Kassam Stadium, Foden scored his first senior goal during a 3-0 victory against Oxford United in the EFL Cup. Tangible evidence that he could deliver at the senior level. As the season progressed, Guardiola's trust in the young prodigy grew incrementally. Then came April 20th, 2019, a watershed moment in Foden's career. In a tense atmosphere at the Etihad Stadium, with City's title hopes hanging in the balance against Tottenham Hotspur, Foden headed home the decisive goal in a crucial 1-0 victory. The capacity crowd erupted as he became the 3rd youngest player ever to score for Manchester City in the Premier League era. That goal against Tottenham transformed his standing from promising prospect to match winner. By season's end, City completed an unprecedented domestic treble, with Foden securing his 2nd Premier League medal at just 18 years old, along with triumphs in both domestic cup competitions. The trophy accumulation continued through the following seasons, with Foden adding an FA Cup by age 19. Each piece of silverware came with increased responsibility as he evolved from squad member to integral performer. The 2020 EFL Cup final against Aston Villa showcased this transformation perfectly. Controlling the midfield with confidence beyond his years, Foden was named man of the match and received the Alan Hardacre Trophy, becoming the youngest recipient in the competition's history. Throughout the period, Pep Guardiola's assessment that Phil is the most talented player I've ever seen carried extraordinary weight. Coming from a coach who had worked with generational talents like Lionel Messi, this endorsement reflected genuine belief in Foden's exceptional ceiling. Guardiola's praise wasn't just rare, it was prophetic. Between 2020 and 2023, Foden would evolve from promising talent to the centerpiece of City's attacking machinery, transforming into a player who could influence games at the highest level. Like a chameleon adapting to its surroundings, Foden's versatility became his defining characteristic long before the statistics, 45 goals in 135 matches, could capture his true impact on the pitch. The 2020-21 season marked Foden's true arrival as an elite performer. His technical brilliance merged with tactical intelligence and physical maturity. Yet despite domestic accolades, European glory remained frustratingly elusive. City's Champions League final defeat to Chelsea in Porto left him walking past the trophy he'd dreamed of lifting since childhood, medalless and dejected, a moment that burned into his memory and fueled his determination in the seasons that followed. His performances didn't go unrecognized by his peers. Foden collected back-to-back PFA Young Player of the Year awards in 2021 and 2022, an unprecedented achievement reflecting his consistent excellence against seasoned professionals. These honours represented genuine acknowledgement from fellow players who witnessed his brilliance firsthand week after week. What truly separated Foden from other young talents was his ability to deliver when stakes were highest. In Champions League knockout stages between 2020 and 2023, he contributed 5 goals and 3 assists, including crucial strikes against Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid that showcased showcased his big game temperament. Under Guardiola's system, Foden proved remarkably adaptable, 1 week stretching defences as a winger, the next dictating play from midfield, and even performing admirably as a false 9 when injuries demanded. Phil doesn't just play different positions, he understands them, explained City's assistant coach Rodolfo Borrell. His football intelligence allows him to grasp the responsibilities of each role almost instantly. This assessment cemented Foden's reputation as a tactically sophisticated player beyond his years. By the 2022-23 season, Foden was no longer viewed as a young player overachieving, but as one of Europe's elite performers. When the Champions League final against Inter Milan arrived, Kevin De Bruyne's injury forced him to shoulder greater responsibility. His movement proved crucial in creating spaces that eventually led to Rodri's match-winning goal. As the final whistle blew in Istanbul, Foden collapsed to his knees, tears streaming down his face, emotionally spent yet triumphant. At just 22, he had become the youngest player in history to complete the continental treble, a feat that legends like Ronaldo, Kane, and Abramovich never managed, despite illustrious careers spanning decades. The image of Foden, the boy from Stockport who once watched City from the stands, clutching the Champions League trophy, represented the perfect culmination of his extraordinary journey. In October 2022, Foden cemented his future with Manchester City through a 3-year contract extension until 2027, reflecting his dedication to the club that nurtured his talent from boyhood. Behind the spotlight, the midfield maestro maintains a remarkably grounded lifestyle. A devoted family man with 2 children, a son born in 2019 and a daughter in 2021, Foden finds balance in simple pleasures. His passion for fishing provides a peaceful counterpoint to the roaring stadiums and intense pressure of elite football, allowing him moments of quiet reflection away from the game. From academy prospect to Premier League star, Foden's journey embodies perseverance and loyalty. The question isn't if he'll win more trophies, but how many times he'll complete football's ultimate collection before his remarkable career concludes.